A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone present here today. A very warm welcome to Old Passion Singapore, Malaysia Global. My name is Jeannie Tan, your host today. The mission of Old Passion is to ignite passion for humanity, to nurture mindset and leadership, preparing us to fulfill our big, bold, beautiful, and shared dream. And today we have Dr. Tunishai Ford, who's going to help us maximize our potential. So with that, I hand it over to you, Mabel.
Yes, thank you. Once again, we have Dr. T with us today, and she is our coach. We just want to thank her for coming month after month. It's been a few years now to coach us, empowering us. Dr. T is a life coach, and she has her own, let me, her own magazine, which we will publish the link in a little while. Now, Dr. T is, let me read, is the founder, CEO of Your Own Uniqueness Inc. It's an organization for self-improvement, overcoming barriers, realizing full potential and destiny. She is an international transformational speaker, life coach, empowerment trainer, teacher of life skills. She also had her own talk show called the Dr. Tunishai Ford Show. Now she has four books which we want to uh, share with you just now. The post actually has all her four books. It's I Miss You. The titles are I Miss the Hugs, Not the Hurts, Taking Control of Your Life from the Inside Out, The Spirit in You, and the fourth book, This is a Comma in Your Life, Not a Period. Today, she's going to empower us with this title, with this topic called The Art of Happiness, the habits of people who love their lives and find happiness. Dr. T, we thank you once again for coming on board here in Asia, in Singapore, Malaysia, and to empower us. Thank you again.
Wow. Can you all see me?
Yes, clear.
Good, 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 good. Shall I say good evening? I guess to most of you, good evening and good morning to the few of us. I am elated again. I'm always so happy to spend time with you
Mm.
all once, even though I know it's once a month, but my schedule is a little busy right now, so once a month is great for me. It fits right into my schedule, and I really do appreciate your patience with me, your tolerance. I really do appreciate that. And I was just telling Tony how much I really love this platform. You all feel like family. You all make me feel so welcome and so warm and fuzzy on the inside. I love it. I really do love that. I'm here again. And my topic today is very befitting for the season because right now, there's so much going on in the world. We all know
Yes.
that. We're keeping up with the news, what's going on with Trump and all over the world with Iran, and it's just so much turmoil and misunderstanding. You don't know what to believe. You don't know how to hope. We just finished celebrating the greatest day in history, Resurrection Sunday. With our Lord and Savior. But something that's in the air that sometimes hinders us from being what we call happy. And I think most of us, we've been taught that happiness is based on situations, circumstances. But how many of you have ever heard of the term of happiness being a art? There's an art to being happy. It's not a miracle. It doesn't just fall out the sky. It's something that we do or we have to do in order to enjoy happiness. So happiness is a habit. It's a habit. It's a form of transition. It's a mindset. That's what it is. And there are people out there who are actually happy because they've mastered this art. So my goal today is to add a few more people. I think we have 9 people, 12 people now, 12 people on this line. My goal today is that the 12 of us will also be a part of the group of people who have mastered the art of happiness. So get on board, stay with me, don't go anywhere, and let's go on this journey, okay? So let's look at this. So when we think about happiness, you think about, okay, a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling, no turmoil, everything is in place, everything going just the way I want it. But what about the times when everything is not the way you want it to be? What if it is sometimes where you feel a little stressed out? When it might be something, you might be even experiencing some sickness and disease in your body. You're not feeling the best. You might be going through a financial situation right now. Whatever it may be, but there's something that we can do to control the outcome. We may not be able to control the sickness and disease. We may not be able to control our financial situation, but we can control how we feel. We can control how our minds think. We can control that. And that's the area that God wants us to look at. It's not about the external things. It's about the internal things. Happiness is internal. So stay
Mm,
with me as we go on this journey. People who are happy, they've mastered the art of happiness. They just think differently. They live their lives differently. What do? They make small choices that slowly build into a meaningful, peaceful, and self directed life. And I want to share with you today 8 habits that people practice every day. And these are habits that you can adopt. So if you're taking notes, I want you to stay with me, take notes, and just glean from what I'm sharing with you all today and see if you can incorporate these habits into your everyday life. Number one, number one. Now, number one, you hear Dr. T talk about this all the time. I know it's nothing new, but you need to incorporate this. If you really truly want to master the art of happiness, this is something that you have to practice. So, number one, they practice gratitude as a daily ritual. It's not a rare moment. You're not just grateful when things are going well. You're going to practice the art of happiness be by gratitude every single day. In other words, when you wake up in the morning, look around your room, your space, and say, what do I have to be grateful for? Right now, I'm sipping on this hot cup of tea. I am so grateful that I could turn on my faucet and there was running water. Do you know there are people who live all over the world who don't even have running water? I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I can go into my refrigerator and pull out something to eat when I get hungry. You know, there are people all over the world who cannot do that. I'm grateful. Let's even start from the beginning. I'm grateful that I was even able to get out of my bed. And all of you doing the same thing. All of you on this line, you were able to get out of your bed. Do you see where I'm going with this? You may not have everything in place. You may not be the well person. You might be going through something in your body. Your finances might be all jacked up from the floor up. You know, you may feel like, oh my God, I'm just going through. But take a minute and think about all the things that you could be grateful for. You're grateful that you're on this line, that you were able to get on a computer and join me today. Start right there. Be grateful that you are in your right mind. There are people who have Alzheimer's and dementia. They don't even know who they are or where they are. Be grateful for that. Do you understand where I'm going with that? If you really want to master the art of happiness, learn how to be grateful. Be grateful in the little things. Don't wait till everything is going well. Say, oh, I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. Everything went well today, Lord. But God is saying, what about when it doesn't? What about when the day isn't going well? Can you still find something to be grateful for? But the person who has mastered the art of happiness, they've adopted and adapted to this habit, and they've learned how to be grateful even in the midst of chaos, even in the midst of things going awry. That's a person who's mastered the art. So, number one, a person who's mastered the art of happiness, they practice gratitude as a daily ritual. It's not a rare moment. Number one. Number two, number two, a person who masters the art of happiness, they focus on progress, not on perfection. I'll repeat that. A person who masters the art of happiness, they're focusing on progress, not perfection. Okay, you can't love yourself if you're constantly falling and failing in everything. You can't do that. People who are genuinely happy don't chase perfection, they chase movement. In other words, they're constantly moving towards something. They're not stagnated. That's a person who's mastering the art of happiness. They tell themselves, better is enough. Small steps, they do count. And I don't need to be perfect. I just need to improve. Doesn't that sound profound? I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be improving. In other words, taking a step towards what you're trying to do. They treat life like a long distance run. It's not a sprint. And because of that, they stay consistent enough to build a life that they genuinely enjoy. That's a person who understands that they don't focus on progress. They focus on movement, on perfection. Number three, if you're taking notes, number three, a person who masters the art of happiness, they simplify their lives instead of constantly adding more to it. They simplify their lives instead of adding more to it. Most people chase happiness by adding things to their lives. More goals, more activities, more social commitments, more possessions. That's how we do things. We gotta have more, 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 more. We can't be happy unless I have more, 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 more. No, a person who truly understands happiness, they're trying to take things off their plate. They're trying to get rid of the congestion. They're trying to move things aside that are not relevant. They cut out the noise. That's a person who truly understands what happiness is all about. Not adding more, but taking off. They cut out relationships that drain them. They cut out habits that don't serve them. They cut out possessions that clutter their space. They cut out commitments that steal time for what really matters. And they cut out expectations inherited from other people. They don't strive for a full life. They don't strive for a full life. They strive for a meaningful one. That is so profound. That is so profound. Think about that. They don't strive for a full life. They strive for a meaningful one. That's what we should all be going after, a meaningful life. It's not about how much I have on my plate, how much I can undertake and stress myself out. It's about what's on my plate that's relevant. And if it's not relevant, start removing things. It's just like life is like a smorgasbord. When you go to a smorgasbord or buffet style dinner, you pick and choose what you want. And that's what life should be like. Pick and choose. It's not like a restaurant where they give you where they have a menu, and if you order a certain item on the menu, it comes with what it comes with. There might be a few options that you can change, but for the most part, the entree is going to be what it is. But you want to go to a smorgasbord in life where you can actually choose what you want to ingest and digest. And that's what you should be striving for. If you truly want to be happy, you want to simplify your life and stop adding more stuff that's irrelevant to your life. So number three, a person who masters the art of happiness, they simplify their lives instead of adding more to it. Number three. Number four, they invest heavily in relationships that nourish their well-being. They invest heavily in relationships that nourish their well-being. The happiest people aren't surrounded by the most people, they are surrounded by the right people. Oh my, did you hear what I just said? They're not surrounded by the most people. They're surrounded by the right people. That's profound. I know we all know people who are popular. They might be influencers. If they give an event, everybody shows up. Everybody shows up because they're popular. They've got it going on that way. But if a crisis arises, if something ever happens to that person, can they call on any of those people to come to their aid? Maybe a handful. Maybe a handful. But all those people that show up for the free food, for the fellowship, for those who just want to be taking and not giving, they'll show up. But when it really matters, who's really in your corner? My mother used to always say this, and I've said this to you before, so it's not new to your ears. She'd always tell me, baby, in this lifetime, you're doing great if you can count your friends on one hand. If you get down to a few fingers, you're doing good. I see you, Mabel. You're doing good. The ones who show up, the ones who don't care about you being in the limelight, they're the ones who tolerate your imperfections. I was talking to Tony. Tony and I, we tease each other. We're working on a major project, and I know we're getting on each other's nerve because it's getting down to the crunch. But we made this decision. We told each other yesterday we love each other. We truly do. And she values me, and I value her. I see what she's bringing to the table. She sees what I'm bringing to the table. We accept one another. We've been doing this for years. We like a married couple. Like we always we fuss and everything, but we still show up. We still show up, baby. We still show up, and that's where it matters. That's where it matters. So remember, number four, if you truly want to master the art of happiness, you want to invest heavily in relationships that nourish your well-being. When the rubber meets the road, who's going to be there? Are they on their way? That's when it counts. Are they on their way? And that's what you want to look at. That's what you want to look at. So number four, again, for people who are mastering the art of happiness, they invest heavily in relationships that nourish their well-being. Number five, they create routines that anchor their day, not restrict it. So that's so important. You want to create routines that anchor your day, not bring restriction to it. People who love their lives tend to have daily habits that ground them. It's all about being grounded. They're not rigid routines, they're not obsessed with discipline, but foundational rituals that give structure to their day. That's what it's all about. It might be something like a designated prayer time. Like I have a time between sort of like right between 3 and 5. I like to pray. I believe that God wakes me up during that time, and I like to pray during that time. Maybe it might be in reading your word. Maybe it might be reading inspirational books, whatever it might be. It might be a quiet morning coffee. These are things that are getting you grounded, getting ready for your day. Maybe it's a daily walk for you. Maybe it's journaling, writing in your journal. Maybe it's a good workout. Maybe it's a moment of mindfulness. That aha moment. You know, it might be a night routine that you do that just gets you ready for bed. That makes you wind down. It makes you feel better for a good 8 hour sleep. However long you sleep, that makes you feel better in the morning. These routines act like emotional stabilizers. That's what it's all about. Emotional stabilizers. They make your life feel predictable, safe, and self-directed, even when external events are chaotic. And that's what it's all about. When you stick to even 2 or 3 small rituals, everything else feels more manageable. It's amazing how much happiness comes from simply starting and ending the day intentionally. That's what it's all about. Ending your day intentionally, doing things intentionally. That's what it's all about. It's about a routine that does not restrict you. But what it does, it gives you comfort, it gives you peace, it gives you tranquility. And a person who's mastering the art of happiness, they understand and they incorporate this habit into their lives. So, number five, they create routines that anchor their day and not restrict it. Number six, and this is so important. I think if we all do this, we'll be well on our way. They let go of things that are outside of their control. Ouch. Ouch. Letting go of things that are out of your control, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. That's a biggie. If we just do that, we'll win the race right there. One of the biggest drains of happiness is emotional overinvestment. That's a key word. Emotional overinvestment in things we can't even influence. Like what, Dr. T? You can't control other people's reactions. You have no control with that. You cannot control your past mistakes. That's why they call it the past. You can't control future uncertainties. Do you know what's going to happen in the future? I mean, I know that God gives people spiritual gifts. Some people can see into the future, but they don't see the whole thing. They may see bits and pieces. So you can't control future uncertainties. You cannot control the behavior of strangers or other people that you even know. You can't control family expectations. And you cannot control external validation. You can't control those things. And there's so many other things I can name that you cannot control. You know what they are. But somehow we want to be in control of everything. I just gotta take control. I just gotta take control. I gotta hold on to that thing. I gotta control that. You can't. And what are you doing? You're stressing yourself out. You're making yourself sick. You're defeating your own purpose. And when you do that, when you start to take on things that you cannot control, what happens to your day? How much do you get accomplished? Who are you hurting? Who stays behind in the game? Who loses? You. So stop trying to take on things that you have no control over. People who are truly happy, they understand that control is limited and peace comes from narrowing the focus. Be like, have those blinders on your eye. Just stay focused. Stay focused. They put their energy only in things they can change. So what can they change, Dr. T? I'm glad you asked. They can change their own habits. They can change their choices. That's what you're in control of. You can change how you respond to something. That's what you can control. You can change your mindset, how you feel, how you think. That's what you can control. You can control your environment. I don't care what's going on outside your house. What's inside your house, you can control that. You can control daily actions that you are responsible for. That's what you can control. Letting go is not resignation, it's self protection. Let me say that one again. Letting go is not resignation, it is self protection. And happiness thrives in people who stop wrestling with what life has already decided. But life has already decided, you have no control over that. Stay in your lane. Stay focused on what your assignment is. Stop trying to do something that's out of your control, that's not a part of your assignment. And you'll be a happier, fulfilled person. So, number six, a person who masters the art of happiness, they let go of things that are outside of their control. Number six. Number seven, if you're taking notes, number seven, they treat self-compassion as a requirement. It's not a luxury. They treat self-compassion, loving themselves, caring for themselves, as a requirement. It's not a luxury. It's not a luxury, ladies and gentlemen. You don't just treat yourself well every now and then, all the time. You can't hate yourself into a life you love. You can't shame yourself into growth. And you can't bully yourself into happiness. It has to be a positive thing, something that you do intentionally. Happy people don't confuse self-criticism with self-improvement. They know progress comes from supporting themselves, not attacking themselves. Don't be your own worst critic. There's something great about you. Everything that God made was you fearfully and wonderfully made. Everything he made was good, even down to that irritating ant that crawls in your carpet or that you want to step on it from time to time. Even that ant has a purpose. Believe it or not, even people, even spiders, believe it or not, have a purpose. So if he created you, and we know that you're greater than an ant and you're greater than a spider, you have purpose too. So why would you criticize God's creation? Why would you sit there and always bombard yourself with negative thoughts about you? A person who is truly, truly, truly practicing the art of happiness, they understand that compassion and love for themselves is a requirement. It's not something you do every now and then. What do they do, Dr. T? I'm glad you asked me that again. They practice forgiving their mistakes. Yeah, forgive your mistakes. You celebrate small wins. That's what they do. They celebrate the small wins. I may not have gotten that promotion that I wanted, but guess what? I'm learning every day how to do this job better. So next time around, I'll get the promotion. They practice speaking to themselves with kindness. They practice reducing inner pressure. And they practice resting without guilt. You don't have to carry everything. It's okay to put things down. And just because you don't get everything accomplished in a day, don't browbeat yourself. Oh, I didn't get that done. Okay, hopefully tomorrow I'll be here. You'll be here to get it done then. But make sure that you're prioritizing your day, making sure you're doing the things that are most important. Then you won't feel that way. But if you happen to get into that thing where you feel guilty because you didn't get something accomplished, take a deep breath, count to 10, and know that there's still hope. It's not over yet. When you treat yourself like someone worth caring for, your entire emotional landscape changes. You become calmer, more resilient, and more capable of joy. So, again, the person who practices and masters the art of happiness, they treat self compassion as a requirement. It's not a luxury. And then, last but not least, and thank you so for staying with me this long, they actively shape their life instead of letting life happen to them. You've heard people say life just happens. No, no, no. A person who is mastering the art of happiness, they play an active role in shaping their lives instead of just letting life happen. Happiness is not passive. It's built by people who take ownership of their choices. It's all about choices, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about choices. And you've heard me say this before. My grandmother used to always say that most of the problems that we have in our life, we bring them on ourselves because of choices, poor choices. Very few people are victims of circumstances, where, in other words, they had no control over what happened to them. Most people are in the situation they're in right now. If you know people, you can say, I know somebody like that. They're impoverished because maybe they had a relative that's always pulling on them, always in their pocket. And instead of you learn how to say no, you're always saying yes because, oh, that's my son, or that's my daughter, or that's my favorite niece, or that's my grandchild. But look at your grandchild, look at the children's lifestyle. They're doing whatever they want to do, they're squandering their money, and then they come to you and they deplete you, and now you're broke. That's a choice. That's a choice. People have all kind of sicknesses and diseases, and a lot of the sicknesses and diseases come from their lifestyle, what they eat, their environment. That's your choice. That's your choice. So think about those things. Many things that you're going through, and I'm not trying to be accusatory, so please don't think it like that. I'm not trying to throw stones at anybody because Dr. T has her own challenges. So please don't take it like I'm trying to accuse or I got it going on and you all don't. No, I'm just letting you know it's something that we're all guilty of. Many times we go through hardship because we made choices to take us there. So we can make choices to bring us out. You don't want to wait for the perfect opportunity. It may not ever come. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity for something to do something you want to do. Don't wait for the right move, whatever that feels like. Don't wait for external motivation. And don't wait for other people's approval. Please don't wait for other people's approval because it may not ever happen. Instead, people who master their art, they create the life they want through small but consistent actions. That's what it's all about. People who master the art of happiness, they don't drift. They're steering. They're in the driver's seat. They may not control everything, and you don't want to control everything, but they guide what they can. They guide what they can. They make intentional, wise choices. They set boundaries. They redesign their environment. The environment is not what you like, then redesign it. They build the life they want piece by piece, like a craftsman shaping something meaningful. So if you truly want to master the art of happiness, you're going to do number one. They're going to practice gratitude as a daily ritual. It's not a rare moment. They're going to focus on progress and not on perfection. They simplify their lives instead of constantly adding more to it. They invest heavily in relationships that nourish them, their well being. Number five, if you're taking notes, number five, they create routines that anchor their day and not restrict it. They let go of things that are out of their control. They treat self compassion as a requirement, not a luxury. And last but not least, they actively shape their lives instead of just letting life happen to them. I believe with all my heart, and this goes for me too, if we begin to incorporate these habits, these 8 habits, just start right there. And I know there are many more, but if we just start right here, right now, we can begin to master the art of happiness. Don't allow circumstances, people, environment to control how you feel and how you live your life. Start with these 8 habits. Begin to start practicing them. And I promise you, you'll be well on your way to being a person living in peace, harmony, and a person who's in control. Let God be number one and let Him filter into you what His game plan is for your life. But in the meantime, you'll be in control of knowing whether or not you're going to follow His lead. And I know that all of you will. I'm Dr. T, and thank you so much. I am honored for allowing me to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. T. Thank you so much, precious gems. Yes, Antoinette, your hand is up. Thank you.
Um, Wonderful,
Yeah,
excellent presentation,
yeah.
Dr. T, as always, and very encouraging. I tried to do a lot of what you had shared, and I know that I've dropped the ball on a few others, but I plan to pick up the ball and start running. I know a while ago, um, Dr. T would tell me, be thankful. Be thankful that you have a place to stay because once upon a time you didn't, and I hear your voice from time to time when things aren't so well, and I'll hear you be thankful. And I'm like, okay, well, I am thankful. Like she said about the coffee, being able to have coffee because there are times I had went to a restaurant they didn't have, believe it or not, and this was Tim Hortons late night, and they didn't have cream or sugar.
Hmm.
So I had to drink my coffee black,
Ah,
and I hate black coffee, but for whatever reason, I would hear Dr. T's voice, be thankful. And I
Yes.
said to myself, well, I'm thankful I even have coffee. It may not be the way that I want it, but I have coffee. And not only that, sometimes I know that I'm always trying to be in control and being discouraged because I can't be in control. But when I just turn it over and do the things that I can control and put the things that I can't control in God's hands, it makes it a lot easier. And
Mm.
so I'm not going to go down the list, but I thank God for your presentation, Dr. T, because um, it reminds me, it keeps me focused, and you know, and it also directs what things I need to improve, what things I need to remember to practice in my life. And it gives hope in knowing that, and just seeing what those principles are. They tell you that you can be successful in happiness. They tell you that you can be happy in whatever happens in our lives. And so I thank you, Dr. T, for
Yeah.
all of your presentations in this one as well.
Thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much, Tony.
you. Thank you. Yeah. I think what I felt too being touched is true. Practice gratitude as a ritual. Mm. Also, letting go. I like what this letting go is not self-resignation, but it's self-protection. Because we talk about a lot about letting go for things you can't control. Actually, it's not resigning, but it's really protecting yourself, things that you can't control, you know. I think I just want to take this opportunity also to say, uh, point number 4, invest heavily in relationship that nourishes your well-being. I just really want to appreciate all the team members in this old passion. You know, uh, we blink our eyes a few times, and it's been really quite a few years, isn't it, Jeannie? Kumaran, Faith, and the apple tree is not here today. Uh, Joanne, we miss you. But the thing is that it's not easy to find a group that stick together for the last six years or more, and and of
Mhm,
one mind, one
mhm,
understanding, one belief. We
mhm,
never doubted this movement.
mhm.
Never doubted to a point where it shakes the foundation, the fellowship, or the relationship. We just somehow, that's why I would like to say and say it again, it's a divine, it's it's God ordained. God has brought us together here. And that's why we are not doubting. By all uh, progress, which I believe many are doubting, but the six, seven, or eight of us, we just keep on keeping on believing, and something good is going to come, and something is good is going to happen, especially with the video we saw just now.
Mhm.
The update by the three leaders. So it's really uh, very fruitful, and let's keep on believing. Something's going to happen 2026. I have I don't know whether Dr. T, is it going to be hard for you to elaborate a little bit more? You know, uh, simplify your life instead of constantly adding to it. Can you elaborate this little thing, this statement called don't go for a full life, but go for a meaningful one? Uh,
Yes,
is there a difference?
yes. What I mean by don't go for a full life, sometimes I think that we as human beings, we're taught. I guess it depends on your culture. I mean, I think probably for all over the world, we strive for perfection. We strive to achieve more. It's all about achieving, and we're visual people, so we look at that like a pile up, like if how many degrees does a person have? You know, how much money we have in our account, and what we have to do to get it. If our day only has one thing on it to do that day, we feel like we're not really having a fulfilled day. Okay, but
Mm,
I think when we talk about having a meaningful day, it's like I always tell Tony about prioritizing. What maybe like for me, let me just back up for me. When I wake up in the morning, I always try to spend the first part of my day with God. And I'm not trying to be all deep and spooky. That's just what I do. And I tell God. If I don't do anything else this day, if I just sit around all
Mm,
day and just twiddle my thumbs and watch, let the TV watch me, as long as I get to do that, that was the most important thing. Does that make sense? So I'm not saying that everybody should live like that, but I'm just saying that a lot of times we congest our lives with all these things. And then at the end of the day, you say to yourself, what did I accomplish? Okay, I had all these things on my plate, but what did I accomplish? You want to end your day by saying, I did one thing, and that might be maybe you saw a single mother with 5 children in the grocery line, and you paid for her groceries because she didn't have enough money.
mm,
That one meaningful thing made your day. And you may have other things on your plate. Maybe you may have had a report that was due for your boss. It wasn't going to get you a promotion per se. It was just your boss hounding you about getting this report in. Maybe your children are calling you, harassing you for money or whatever it may be, and you're out there trying to run around to the bank getting all this money out your account. Who's that helping? Them, not you. But my whole point, you're busy, but you're not being fulfilled in your busyness. You have possessions, you have all these things, but look how hard you have to work to go out there and just get something that at the end of the day is going to depreciate. You go out there and buy a brand new Mercedes, which is a fine car, but in a few years, as soon as you drive the car off the lot, it's depreciated. You see my point? So it's not like it has anything meaningful. So you want to surround your
mm,
life and do things in your life that's going to bring purpose and make you
mm,
feel at the end of the day like, wow, this was a great day. Why? Because look what I did. Look who I impacted. Look who I pleased God. I impacted someone's life positively, and I feel good about that. Does that make sense?
yes, yes. Thank
Okay.
you. Yep, got it. Jeannie, anyone else who want to give some comment and feedback how the session has touched us? Mm,
Where's John today?
exactly. Well, I think everyone is thinking deeply because these are all very, very precious gems to help us find happiness. Um, if no one has more comment, I think we can keep it short and sharp so that it is easy to review, to go through the video again. So, Dr. T, can you help us close
Sure.
today's
Thank you
session?
so much. Thank you so much. I know this may be a very simple topic of the art of
Mm,
happiness, big deal, but this is a time in our lives, like I said before, that we really do need to um, practice being happy because so many people aren't. I was talking to my pastor's wife yesterday, and she was just telling me about people who are relatives of hers who are really going through hard and how
mm,
they're praying and they're being faithful, but they just don't really see change. And that's why I made up in my mind that, I really want to just change my mindset because, like I said, so many things we cannot control the outcome of everything, but we can control what's internal. And that's what I want to practice. So, my final thoughts are these: people who truly love their lives don't have perfect circumstances, they don't, but they have intentional habits. They choose simplicity over chaos, presence over distractions, self compassion over self judgment, connection over performance, and progress over perfection. And most importantly, they stop waiting for happiness to arrive and start creating it every day themselves. That's the art of happiness. There's small moments, small habits, small decisions repeated with love, presence, and purpose. That's the art of happiness. Thank you.
wow. For all those who go through the video, we must come to the final thought and the summary. That summarize, that's a mouthful, and it's all that is so precious. The your final thoughts to us. We must replay that final thought. Well, thank you everyone for coming tonight on the 9th of April. 2026 is a Thursday, where Dr. Tunishai Ford coach us again, empowering our life. Now, we are going to stop the recording, but don't leave because we're going to play a video from a video that is precious to us about the update of Victory with Ash. So I'm going to stop the recording, and thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Dr. T. Thank you, Antoinette. And we wish you all the best for your coming trip to that Holy Land. Thank you. So let me stop the recording, but don't leave.